This is the drugs are bad story. Welcome to the Time Treadmill. I'm Ron, and these are my sweaty thoughts about Doctor Who. Where The Creature from the Pit was a complete disaster on screen, oddly enough, Nightmare on Eden is a fairly entertaining and well-written story on screen, but behind the scenes was a complete disaster. First of all, it's interesting to note the story was written by Bob Baker. Now, normally he writes as a writing team with him and Don Martin. This is the only Doctor Who story ever with a sole writing credit from Bob Baker. It also happens to be his final writing credit for the series. And as for the director, well, Alan Bromley didn't know what the hell he was doing. That's the consensus of everybody who was on set. According to my favorite assistant floor manager, Val McCrimmon, and yes, I actually do have a favorite assistant floor manager, and I couldn't even tell you why, but I love Val McCrimmon. And this is her first story. She will be on the credits for many, many, many stories to come. In any case, according to her, Alan Bromley did not know what he was doing. He had no idea how to coordinate production on a set, and he wasn't interested in listening to anything anyone had to say to guide him in the right direction. The situation got completely out of control to the point where finally, halfway through production, he literally quit and walked off the set. Producer Graham Williams had to step in and finish production of the entire story. Now, something similar had happened once during the Third Doctor era, where a director had to leave a production halfway through, but that was due to a medical emergency. The poor man had a heart attack, and the producer had to step in and take over. In this case, it was 100% pure incompetence on the part of the director. But due to union rules, his name remains as the sole credit for directing on all 4 episodes, even though he only actively worked on 2 of them. The man obviously never worked on Doctor Who again. The situation behind the scenes devolved so badly, this was the story that actually caused the producer to decide he was leaving the show at the end of this season. And no great surprise there. In many ways, you could count this as the beginning of the end of the 4th Doctor era. Although Tom Baker here is at the height of his popularity, he has also become a complete megalomaniac on set. He's not interested in taking direction from anyone, and frankly, who can blame him? At this point, who knows the series better than he does? But still, his working relationships with people on set became very strained, and it was right around this time that the seeds were beginning to be laid for his ultimate departure the following year. This is just such a tumultuous season, and yet it produces so many gems. And even this one, that's a complete disaster behind the scenes, as I said, is actually completely enjoyable on screen, even if the anti-drug message in this story is horribly overplayed and on the nose. But still in all, it works and it's thoroughly entertaining, and what more can you ask for from a story? And as for that story, I suppose I'll get more into that tomorrow with the second half of Nightmare of Eden. I'll see you then.